Alright, what's up everybody? Today we're sitting in my garage and I thought I'd do a little boat review on my brand new 2021 Skeeter FXR21. And I'm not going to open up every compartment and show you every little ins and outs of it, but I am going to go over the things I do like and the things that I don't like about this boat. Alright, the first thing we're going to talk about is the things that I do like about this boat. And just to let you know, the last 3 boats I've had have all been nitros. One of them was a smaller boat. The last 2 were the big boats, a Z9 and a Z21. And although those boats ran well, they weren't very fast. They took rough water pretty good. But in those boats, every time you would land on the side of a wave, they slapped a lot. There was a lot of rattling going on. And it was fine, but man, I'm telling you, this one is quiet, it's tight, it cuts the waves really good, and there's not a whole lot of slapping going on the side of the water. It's a dry riding boat, and overall it's just hands down way better than the Nitro was, and I really like that boat. This boat's just as big. This one's 21 foot 4 inches long, and with that Yamaha on the back, it accelerates when you need it to in that rough water. Alright, so like I was saying, this Yamaha here, the 4-stroke, it's the first 4-stroke I've ever owned, and it's the first Yamaha that I've ever owned. And it's quiet, it's very responsive, and the torque is just ridiculous. One of my favorite things about this boat is how clean the rear end is back here. All these hoses coming from the motor, your depth finder wires, everything, your transducer wires, it's so clean. You don't have anything rubbing on your fiberglass, which everybody else knows in all the other boats. This hose right here will rub your gel coat just raw. Skeeter, everything comes in straight down into the boat. So clean, and I just love that. Another awesome feature about this rear deck is the split rear compartment. Open up one side, you can get everything you need to right here. Turn your power on and off, access your power pole pumps, your battery charger, your sumps, everything down there. Trolling motor batteries on this other side. And the space in here is just ridiculous for installation of anything that you need to replace. So like I said, the space in here is ridiculous. You can access everything, you don't have to take anything out. You can leave the batteries where they are and still get to all of it. Comes with this cool little tool tray over there, and we'll talk about that here in a little bit. And while this compartment is open, all the compartments have these rigid industry lights, and that's in the rod locker, the storage up front. Every box has these, and what's cool about that is some boats have the lights down in the compartment, and when you start filling it up, that's going to block your view from that light. Skeeter put the lights up top, and it shines down no matter how much stuff you have in your compartments. Most other boats come with those little cheap plastic battery tie downs that just clamp together when you strap them on. These are actual TH Marine straps where you can tighten this sucker down and then flip this metal deal over, and that clamps it down there, and those batteries aren't moving. They ain't going anywhere. These FXRs are also equipped with these awesome reverse lights. This is the first time I've actually had projection reverse lights on any trailer I've ever owned. There's one on both sides of the trailer that really light up the ramp in those early mornings right before takeoff. The badging on this boat is pretty cool too. It's this raised lettering plastic. It's not that rubber stuff that will peel off over time. Like in the Nitros, I've had the Z71 start to peel off and had to get that replaced. There's nothing on the bottom side, but this top side is really stuck on there nice. Looks awesome. So this year for the 2021 models, they changed the wheels up a little bit from the last year's model. This year they're going with more of a chrome look, There's some black in the insides, but the 2020s had more black. This year they got more chrome, and it really looks good with this boat. So while we're down here, let's take a look at this trailer. This trailer is actually bed liner sprayed, not paint that's gonna scratch every time a rock flings up on it. It's really awesome, looks good. You know, Skeeter makes their own trailers, and something they thought of in these new FXRs is this trailer step right here. Really easy, really convenient to get up in and out of your boat. I use it all the time in the garage. All right, next let's talk about these seats. In my last Nitro Z71, the seats were really nice, big, comfortable, but I gotta say, these are better. Not only do you have this really awesome sturdy handle to help you get in and out of the boat, I mean, look at these seats. Not only are they comfortable, but they look awesome. All right, this is a really cool spot here, the cockpit area. Spent a lot of time running across the lake, out idling, graphing. I'm 6'5". I have plenty of room. Seats fit me well. Steering wheel's positioned well. I'm only running 112 this year. The hot foot down here, plenty of room for me to extend my leg out. All in all, fits me really good. You see all your gauges. All right, now we'll talk about all the features in this cockpit area. Start off with these gauges. Got your trim up and down, oil pressure, battery gauge, and gas gauge. Also on this side, you have your trim up and down. This side, got your jack plate up and down. I have my power pole switch mounted there, and your Atlas gauge that lets you know what it's set on when you're running down the lake. These buttons are pretty cool. Got your power on, lights, and down here, what I really like this year, I don't have to bend down all the way to screw my drain plug in. This is it, in and out, flip that over, good to go. Right here, pull this up, plug it in for your battery charger, and as you can see, my battery is recharged. I'm ready to go to the lake. Got your oxygenator, flip that on. And then another cool feature about this boat is the dry dock system, which is a fan. You can hear it kick on. The fan is actually down there, and that'll suck air in and run air through your compartments whenever you have that wet, rainy day. Help dry them out, keep the mold out. Also, these boats come with a Bluetooth radio, AM, FM radio, Bluetooth, made by Fusion. I will say it's not the greatest sounding system, but it's plenty for those days out on the water when you just want to listen to music while you're out there struggling to catch a fish. You got looks like a 5 1/4 inch speaker there, and another one over there on that side. And we'll see what that sounds like right now. All right, this middle seat right here, not only is it a really comfortable seat, but it is the ice chest underneath. As you can see, I got my drinks ready for next time. All I need to do is add ice, but it is really big. It's deceivingly big, actually. You got plenty of room for all your drinks you need throughout the day, plenty of room for your sandwiches and snacks, and it actually works really, really well, and will keep ice all day. And when you finish those drinks and snacks and food, you have a really big trash can there, and that definitely gets used a lot. You could also use that as more storage if you wanted to. All right, here's something that I really love that I've never had before, and it's this box right here. It's what you would call a day box. It's got a slam latch lid. Pull it up, and it has this little compartment in here. Here's what I was catching them on flipping the other day. Every time you break one of these off, sit down, open this box up, and you got it ready to go. Keep your dipping dies in here. There's little spots in there for that. A pair of scissors, magic marker, my iPilot remote, some scales, got a needle in there to fizz my fish with when you catch them out deep. Stuff that you use a lot and it's handy. Boom, right there in your day box, ready to go. I really like this feature. Oh, and it also comes out, so you can put stuff underneath there. Pretty cool. And we'll turn those on and see what they look like. They're not really bright during the day, but at nighttime, they look pretty cool. There you go. As you can see, the size of this front deck is huge, and that's what I really like the most about this boat. The Nitros had a huge front deck. This one's got a huge front deck. It's wider than the old FXs. Also, the deck from the front all the way to the rear is padded. It's really comfortable when you're standing on your feet all day. Really helps with that fatigue. And being 6'5", I love to have all the room that I can get. When you got 6 to 8 rods on both sides, you still have plenty of room for 2 people to stand up there in the front and fish. Again, one of the key features I look for when I'm looking for a new boat is the size of that front deck. All right, the last couple things we'll talk about. Nicely convenient switches here for the trim and your nav lights. Plenty of room to step off to get off the dock, into your boat, out of your boat, and getting in. You got this giant step on your trailer and these 2 steps to help you get into the boat. All right, we went over all the things that I do like about this boat, and now we're gonna talk about the things that I don't like about it. I don't wanna talk about this, but I'm trying to keep it honest, and maybe somebody from Skeeter will hear this and make changes in the future. So the first thing we're gonna talk about that I don't like, it comes with these, your motor toter and your steering stops. First off, I thought this was gonna be pretty cool, but where the motor actually sits on this is metal. There's not really anything that's gonna hold that motor. It's just sitting on top of that on this slick metal. These cheap little plastic things that clip on here. I've already had to pull over about 2 or 3 times, and I've only taken this thing out about 5. You're gonna have to pull over because every time you hit a bump, the motor's gonna slide across this piece, your motor's gonna turn, and these little things are gonna bend out and slide over the edge. And the next thing you know, you look in your rearview mirror and your motor's cocked to the side, bouncing all over the place. This isn't actually part of the boat, but this is what Skeeter sends you. I think it's junk. I have a motor mate on order that I hope will fix that issue, and I won't have to worry about that anymore. All right, the next dislike is these. These are called sponsons. Skeeter's had them for a long time. I know they help with keeping the boat stable. They help when you're getting up on pad. They have a lot of positives, but what they also act as is a ramp. When you're laying the boat down, coming off a pad, you want to jump up, get to your rods as quick as you can. When you shut this thing down and all this water rushes up, it acts as a ramp and pushes water all over your rear deck, almost all the way up to your live wells. All that water comes up, gets into this crack, and you will have water at the end of the day in this compartment. Also in that tool tray holder there, it was full of water. All my tools were underwater inside that tray. Since then, I have drilled some holes in the bottom of it to help the water run out, and also put some of my tools in a plastic bag so they won't get rusted. But what I've learned is to help prevent that, instead of just shutting it down and jump up, as soon as that boat lays down, when that right as that water is starting to rush in over the boat, You got to give it a little bit more gas and speed up and kind of surf in front of that wave for just a little bit, and that will stop that water from coming into the boat. Again, not a big deal, but I don't want to have to sit there and do that every time I come to a stop. But now I have to. All right, the next thing I don't like about this boat, which is pretty minor, the latches. These latches are really nice. No complaints about them, except you got a 50-50 chance when you go to turn this to get it right. That time I got it right. Sometimes you're sitting in the bottom of the boat, and if you're used to the kind of latches that turn both ways, well, these don't. All these latches only turn one way. Not a big deal, just something I don't like. If they turn both ways, you get it right every time. Now you got a 50-50 shot. Last thing I don't like about this boat is the rod locker. I like the rod locker. It's huge, holds a lot of rods. I got a lot of rods in there now. But as you can see, they have that mega tube thing down in there. Your rods, you gotta make sure to get that tip through that hole. Sounds kind of weird, but you gotta look and see what you're doing, or you'll break it off, break your rod tip off if you miss. And the major thing I don't like about this rod locker, as you can see, it doesn't come with carpet. That black carpet you see is in there is old bunker board carpet that I had, that I just laid in there, and that's gonna help protect my reels from banging around and getting, you know, boat rash inside there, which they did the first time I loaded these rods up. I had the reels that don't have covers on them were getting beat up pretty bad by the fiberglass on the side of those compartments. I'm the kind of guy that likes to protect my equipment, and carpet, yeah, it stays wet if this locker gets wet, but it's gonna keep my reels looking nice. Again, I don't like the fiberglass inside. I wish they were finished out with carpet like the nitros that I've had, but definitely holds plenty of rods. I don't know how many rods in there, 20 or so right now, and I could probably put another 20. All right, everybody, that's gonna do it for my likes and dislikes of this Skeeter FXR21 2021 model. I love this boat. I'm gonna be getting a new boat every year. This one will be for sale. If anybody's interested, hit me up. And if you're in the market for a new boat, go see the guys down at Jorgensen Marine in Beaumont, Texas. And they are also located at Lake Sam Rayburn. Great group of guys. Go check them out. Tell them I sent you.